I know you've addressed this on your show, and I have brought it up last week and this week. So, should Russell Wilson have Browns fans worried about what Deshaun Watson is going to look like when he's able to play for the Browns? Because Russell Wilson does not look like a quarterback that you want leading your NFL football team right now.
Yeah, Russ has been bad. Russ isn't Russ anymore. He can't do some of those things that makes him Russ. And I think the problem with Russ right now is he still thinks he Russ, right? And that was the problem in Seattle, right? What was it? Pete Carroll wanted to make him run different plays to work with his limitations as he saw them coming. And Russ felt like he was being handcuffed because he still think he's 2016 Russ. He's not that anymore, right? You know, there's a lot of drives. There's like 2 drives a game he gives you in Denver now where he's Russ Wilson, like the old school, that's Russ. Every other drive is Russell Wilson, and that's a different dude, right? That's a guy that's not as dynamic, who might make an interception, might be late on the throw. He's a different quarterback. He needs to learn to adjust to him not being who he was anymore in his prime, and then he might be okay. This happened with Drew Brees. This happened with Tom Brady. The last few years he was in New England where he had that frustration. This even happened with Aaron Rodgers before Matt LaFleur got there. So this thing happens with the quarterback at this age. We'll see if he comes out of it the other side, right? Sometimes you end up like Cam Newton, out the league. Sometimes, you end up just fine. But that's where he's at. He's at that crossroads. Deshaun Watson is 27 years old. He's not at that crossroads yet. What we're talking about with Russ isn't him learning a new offense. He's been in that offense for like 6 months. This is not about him learning a new offense or being rusty. This is about him being old. Deshaun Watson is not old. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, again, this is unprecedented. We've never seen a quarterback come back in this kind of a situation after 700 days being missed. But we have seen football players come back and play well after missing 700 or 600, close to 600 to 700 days. Trent Williams is a great example of that when he quit basically while under contract the Washington football team and then forced his way on to the San Francisco 49ers. There's about a similar passage of time between start to start. And he ended up being not just fine, better than ever because he was in a better situation for himself. My point is that we have no idea what Deshaun's going to look like, but odds tell you that good football players look like good football players when they play football, right? Them being away for a little while doesn't change the fact that they were good football players, right? Deshaun's not going to be a different quarterback just because he hasn't been there. I know people are freaking out about the preseason game. I contend this. If he played a half in that preseason game, we would have been just okay with what he would have produced in that game. He had 2 bad drives. We have seen every quarterback in the NFL this year have 2 bad drives. That does not mean that he's so incredibly rusty that he's not going to be able to play well. And I think he's going to be all right. He's going to be able to practice. I think, but we'll be pretty comfortable about this more than likely by like the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter of the Houston game.